So I wanted to move on to CalFire. I do have a couple of concerns. I mentioned this to other members on the committee. So a lot of our fuel reduction projects that have been let out in years past have were bid. The contracts were bid by the contractors on fuel costs that were around $3 a gallon, and that's doubled since they've taken those contracts. So many of those contractors that I'm hearing from throughout the district and throughout the state are not able to make a profit, quite frankly, and so they're spending most of their resources on fuel. So is there an ability for a stipend to existing contracts so we can keep those fuel reduction projects going throughout the state?
Senator, that's something we can certainly look into. We are really proud of using the funding that you all provided last year, starting with that early action budget in April, $536 million, followed up by 800 some odd million just several months later. And we've got over 500 projects, well over 500 projects, I think, underway as a result of that money, those proactive vegetation management, wildfire resilience projects. The concern you raise is the first time I've heard it, and so I can commit that we would get back to you from our agency for those grant programs that entities that are not related to CalFire administer, and then I would turn it over to Chief Tyler to answer on behalf of CalFire.
Thank you, Senator Dahle, for the question. Similar to Secretary Crowfoot, it would be important to ensure that the grantees are working with their local grant administrators, but it is heard loud and clear. I will confer with staff here to figure out a way, recognizing the increase in fuel costs for those vendors.
Just FYI, so if a lot of these projects are funded not just by, CalFire, they're funded by a conservancy, a fire state council, federal monies. All these monies are compiled together for a lot of these projects where the projects cross over from private, public, and federal lands. And so the contracts have been let for so many dollars per acre to treat, and then they're a couple-year contracts. Well, when the price of fuel goes up, these contractors, it's doubling their cost of fuel, so they're not able to treat the acres because they just frankly are losing money, and so they're stopping and waiting for the fuel to come down. Well, it may be a long time before the fuel comes down, and we need to treat those acres. So I've brought it up to Senator McGuire. I know that he's aware of it, but there are formulas that we all use in private industry. I'm in the trucking business. We have a formula that as fuel goes up, there's a fuel surcharge put on, and it equates to whatever the amount is so that the contractor can continue to work and create and finish the project. Unfortunately, our grant programs they are a fixed amount. So there has to be some ability to be able to put in those funds to cover those costs. So I want to go on record. I know it's a problem. We need to treat these acres sooner than later. So I'm hoping that we can figure that out through the budget process.